Idioms are hard. There are so many of them. But how can you learn them all? The answer is through story. In this video, you will learn one common idiom through a very short story. Afterwards, there will be a little quiz to test what you have learned. Let's get started. In a busy northern town, there was a factory owned by a greedy entrepreneur. He saw safety regulations as burdensome red tape. To him, they were obstacles that limited his freedom and reduced the amount of money he could make. So he cut corners wherever he could. Over time, his factory began to show signs of neglect. The machines and equipment looked old and worn out. Fire extinguishers were covered in dust, and emergency exits were blocked by boxes and rubbish. The workers didn't feel safe. They tried to speak up about their concerns, but the entrepreneur didn't listen. The factory became a place filled with fear, as workers worked with the constant fear of something bad happening. Then, one day, something terrible happened. Because the entrepreneur didn't follow the safety rules, there was a big accident. Many innocent workers lost their lives. It was a heartbreaking tragedy that deeply affected the whole community. The entrepreneur had to face the consequences of what he did, both legally and morally. After that, the entrepreneur realized his mistakes and wanted to make things right. He started to advocate for better safety in factories. He had finally learned from the tragic consequences of his greed. He finally understood that cutting corners costs lives. So what does to cut corners mean? Does it mean A, to be careful with money and spend less? B, to do something quickly or cheaply by not following all the steps or rules? C, to do something risky or dangerous? Or D, to cut the corners off a piece of paper with a pair of scissors to make it look nice? The answer is B, to do something quickly or cheaply by not following all the steps or rules. In the story, the business owner is very focused on making money and thinks safety rules are too bothersome and costly. He chooses to ignore safety measures and takes shortcuts to save time and money. He chooses to cut corners. Unfortunately, because of this, the factory becomes dangerous and a terrible accident happens where innocent workers lose their lives. To learn another idiom through story, watch this video.